No, you did a lot. You've done a lot of great things, but you know, one of the albums that I really dig, and it was at a time really when you know there was a fad known as pachanga, but you recorded with Mongo. I guess it might have been actually your very first recording on an album called Sabroso, and
Sabroso.
and
Yeah,
that was really cool. But
yeah.
Mongo and you, man, really had a great relationship as well, man.
Well, you know what? I was very, very fortunate out there also because Benny Velarde, who was one of my friends too, and he actually got the call to do the recording with Mongo, and Mongo asked him, do you know a guy that can play guido and sing background and stuff?" He goes, "Yeah, yeah, I got my friend Pete Escovedo." He goes, "He's just a kid, but yeah, but he can do it." So I went to the rehearsal, and here's all these Cuban guys, man. I'm going like, what? I had no idea. I was just a kid, and I was like, man, this is unbelievable. I'm going to be on a record with Mongo and Willie Bobo and Chombo Silva and all these guys, Pupi like I mean, all these great Rudy Costa. All these guys were amazing, man. And I felt like, what am I doing here? But it was great. We had a great time doing the session, and then we played a couple of gigs at the Blackhawk Club. Yeah, so we did a couple of gigs there. And Mongo was really into the kind of like the charanga kind of thing, and it was really, really, really a great album. I thought that album was fantastic. Yeah.
Is one of my favorites, man. But the thing too is that I think that when you talk about retirement, one of the really important aspects has been the fact that you know your children have followed in your footsteps. You know, to have that kind of you know of legacy where you know your daughter is now Sheila Escovedo, you know,
Mhm.
is one of the greatest the drummers in the pop field and a tremendous you know
Mhm.
force in the
Yeah.
world of really you know not just Latin music but in just pop music general internationally. And I mean it must be you know give you a sense of pride to see
Oh,
you know
yeah.
where Peter Michael is, you know where Juan is, how all that
Yeah.
Sheila has achieved, you know, because I
Yeah.
mean they're internationally known stars now, man.
Yeah. I'm so proud of them, Chewy. They have accomplished a lot on their own. They're great musicians, and the cool thing about it is they're just great people to be around and hang out with, um, and just going back and looking at them as they progressed from little kids to musicians to great musicians to what they're doing now, and it's just, yeah, I'm so proud of all of them. Yeah, they've all done so much. Yeah.
But the thing too, Pete, is that you also are not just a great musician, a musical artist. You also are a painter who has now gotten world acclaim as well. And that you know, you always seem to have had this artistic side to you that we didn't find out about it till much later in your life. And now it seems like this is a new chapter for you, man, as a painter.
Yeah, it's come full force now. I mean, it's kind of strange because uh, before I became interested in music, I was really wanted to be a painter, so an artist. And so when I was in school, I had this great art teacher, and she would let me go in the back room and use the oil paint and paint. I was the only one she would let do that. And she would come back there sometimes, look at my work, and I would ask her, am I doing the right thing or doing wrong things? And she goes, "I'm just going to leave you alone. You go ahead and paint whatever you want to paint." And so that free hand gave me that's what I do when I paint. I have a free hand, and I was supposed to uh, go to a college of arts and crafts when I graduated. I had a apprentice job at Foster and Clyde's for advertising. She hooked all that up for me. But I started playing music with Ed Kelly. Ed Kelly, who was a great piano player, and we both went to the same school, McClymonds. And he put this band together. At the time, I was dibbling and dabbling with the saxophone. So I told him, I said, hey, Ed, you know, I heard you're getting a group together. I play saxophone, man. I said, can I join the band? He goes, well, I already hired a saxophone player. He goes, but you know what? I've been listening to a lot of kind of Latin stuff, and I need a percussion player. I said, well, that's me. I can do that. Because at the time I was beating on coffee cans and whatever, you know. And this friend of mine, Al Larios, who was a bass player, and on my 18th birthday, he bought me a set of timbales.
Oh,
and he brought them over and he says, here, man, learn to play. I said, okay.
and the rest is history.
yeah. And it was just, you know, just I fell in love with the instrument. And but then I played congas too, and bongo and a little percussion, other stuff. But because I admired Tito so much, and I just said, man, I want to be like Tito Puente. I want to be like that guy, man. You know.
Oh, but the other side of the coin too is that when you had the Escovedo Brothers band, you also wanted to be Tito Rodriguez, man.
I sure did. And when I met Tito Rodriguez, he was so nice and such a nice guy. But you know, he had that suave thing about him, man. He always dressed clean, and he had that really nice romantic voice. And I said, yeah, maybe that's what I want to do, you know. Because at the time, Coco was playing timbales, and Coco was a way much better timbale player than I was. So, you know, in the band, he played timbales, and then we hired conga players and bongo players and all that. So all I did was play guiro and play maracas and sing. So I thought, well, what better way than to follow the footsteps of Tito Rodriguez? So,
no, and you have a great voice, Pete. I have to give it to you, man. I mean, you know, especially when you sing those boleros, man. You probably helped a lot of people fall in love, man, and being there on the Valentine's days over at Yoshi's. I hope that you sing some boleros for us, bro. Because
I might have been thinking about it. My voice isn't what it used to be, but yeah, you never know what I'm gonna do. I you know, because during my life as a musician, I've liked so many different kinds of music. As much as I love to play salsa, and as much as I love Latin jazz, and as much as I love, you know, Brazilian music, and it's just, I think growing up in the Bay Area, because we had all these bands, you know, Tower of Power, and just all the great bands that came out of the Bay Area at that time. And me listening to everything growing up in that whole environment of the Bay Area, it was a special time and a special place.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I just listening to all this stuff, all this different music. And so I thought, well, when I get my band, I want to kind of do this and that and this, and whether it's right, whether it's wrong, I don't know, but I'm just going to do it because I like it.
And you did it, bro. But you know, the thing now, Pete, is as you look back, what advice would you give to emerging musicians, you know, drawing from your experience, you know?
Yeah. Well, the first thing, of course, you got to love what you do, you know, and you got to realize that playing music, in a sense, is a sacrifice, because your family may not want you to do it, you know. They might think it's a waste of time, that you'll never make any money, and the competition that's out there is very hard. And yeah, all those things come into view. But I think, you know, if you love it and that's what you enjoy and that's what you want to do, go for it, man. Go for it, and go for it all the way. All the way. Give it all you got, because that's what it's going to take to get somewhere and be successful at it. you got to work at it, and you just, you know, say, hey, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be successful, you know, and go for it, man.
Well, I got to tell you, man, you're a superstar in my book, bro. So I want to thank you for taking the time and for your patience and, you know, getting our technical difficulties ironed out today.
I know.
But thank you, my man. Anything you want to say to the folks in closing, man, to get them to come on out to Yoshi's this coming weekend, man?
Yeah, well, first of all, you know, I want to thank you, Chuy, for what you do as far as for the Bay Area music. You know, you've kept all of us guys alive for so long. We also appreciate it. And the great thing is that, you know, you have a worldwide audience, you know, all the guys from Cuba, Puerto Rico, New York, they all love you, man. They all talk about you. Man, Chuy, yeah, he's a great guy, man, plays all music. And that's really something that you've done that all these years. So first of all, I want to thank you for that. Secondly, you know, this retirement thing is I think due on my part, but at the same time, I know that by the end of the year of 23, that's when I'm going to retire. And so this year, I'm just going to play my little heart out and have fun, you know, and that's what I intend to do at Yoshi's, is just play and have fun, and, you know, hope people come by and hear some of the songs that I recorded, and, you know, watch us play. And my two sons will be with me, Juan and Peter Michael, and so we'll have a good time, and you know, we'll just keep going until you can't go anymore.
That's great, brother. I am running out of time, so, you know, thank you for being here. Really do appreciate it, and I will see you at your